in to the second segment of Electrify Expo here in the Electrify show-off section with our second guest of the day. We have Mr. Gurski with Blue Dot Motorworks. How are you today, sir?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Awesome, man. First show you said, right?
First show.
All right.
We
get to have fun with you, man.
Mess with Tom a little bit.
We do. We do. So tell us what you brought to the show today.
Yeah, today I brought our Narwhal prototype, and this is essentially the world's first universal conversion technology for turning existing vehicles into plug-in hybrids.
Oh, wow. Anything.
Anything. Well, this particular product is for anything with a solid rear axle. Our follow-up product will be for essentially everything else.
Okay. And so what have you built yourself so far that is most impressive or the most popular amongst your fans? What's one of the most popular items you've built?
Yeah, I'd say that this prototype is it. It really shows the path forward for doing conversions on an economical and scalable basis, which is really what we need because there aren't enough existing cars coming off the road in the next 30 years for us to hit our climate targets.
I got you. So how much time and effort have you put into this particular project?
Years and years and years. Lots of blood, sweat, and tears.
Did you ruin anything in the process?
Oh, actually, I've done pretty well on not ruining things. The very first time I used the first prototype, I drove to an abandoned forest road because I had a feeling I would either drive off a cliff or I would just completely lunch my own car, and everything just worked fine. So I've only shorted my battery pack once, and it didn't start a fire, so we're okay.
That's right.
So I got the name, the Narwhal, right? What was the idea behind that? Where did that come from? Like, what's the story?
Yeah, so I've always been passionate about both climate change and cars, so I wanted to build something from the ground up to address, play in that market. And I had this gut feel that, I don't think we're going to be taking enough cars off the road fast enough for EVs to be the only solution we have. So I started thinking about, all right, what can we do with existing cars? I knew a fair amount about how existing conversions worked, but I also knew that process and that approach would never be cost effective enough for really the mainstream market, and it's also really difficult to scale the existing conversion techniques. So my idea was, can we do something that's vehicle agnostic, so essentially one set of hardware you can mass produce at the lowest possible price, and can you have an installation process that can be done by any mechanic anywhere and be done really fast? We think we can get it down to about a day.
All right, man.
So how agnostic at this point are you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so we'll have one system, the one we call the Narwhal, that's for anything with a solid rear axle. And then the other system is for anything else, basically. We call that the Humpback.
Okay.
And if you can imagine both of those systems being sold in kind of small, medium, and large, depending on what vehicle they're getting put on, then that's your matrix of 6 that can cover just about any light-duty vehicle out there.
Oh, wow.
And if I live in an area, and I know this is the challenge for kind of all of us in this space right now is how do we scale, right? So, you start usually local, and you have some local customers, and then as your business grows, you get out into other parts of the country and then the world. So if somebody that is 5 states away is interested in doing this, is there an option now, or will there be an option in a year, or what? How does that work?
Yeah, there's not an option yet, but in the very near future, we'll institute what we call the tire rack model. So you'll buy the system from us, we'll ship it directly to your local installer, which will be either a national franchise that we've partnered with, or we also have a training program for independent mechanics. You show up in the morning, drop your car off, pick it up in the evening, and you've got yourself a plug-in hybrid.
Wow. Okay, so for those of you out there listening, watching, this is big.
This is radical.
This is huge. This is huge. Now, I got to ask this question because I think most folks are. You're a car guy, right?
Yeah.
Originally. So going from being a car guy, customizing a standard vehicle, gasoline engine, to this, it's still just as fun, but you're doing it for more of a purpose, and that is to go green, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. It's. I've like I said, I've always been a car guy. I've done some, autocrossing and track days. I've had Porsches. I had a Lotus, and just that's always been in my blood. I'm having at least as much fun doing this as I was doing that.
So, was the lack of noise factor bother you at all?
It's It is a bit of a sacrifice, but on the scale of things that we're talking about, like, is that really that big of a sacrifice?
Right.
Come on.
Exactly. This is true. And I know my first drive in an EV I was blown away just simply by the off the line and how quick you got from 0 to 60.
Yeah.
For you, what was your first EV that you drove that you felt like, oh, this is a real thing here?
It actually wasn't so much about the performance. It was I was being sort of eco-minded. I was
Gotcha.
trying to keep my emissions low. So my daily driver for a long time was a 3-cylinder Geo Metro.
Okay, right on.
And this is
Nice.
coming from a car
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So I stepped up from that to a Chevy Volt, and it was just the refinement,
Yeah.
silence.
Yeah.
I named her Sophie because it was the softest sounding name I could come up with.
Right.
Because it was just compared to a buzzy old gas guzzling car, not gas guzzling, but buzzy old car. It was just so quiet, and serene.
Right. Yeah, that's the one thing that I found. For some people, obviously, with some of the newer models like the the Mach-E has the rumble that you can have the sound. If you want that ambient sound inside the cab. So there are solutions out there for
Sure.
those people out there that are missing that noise. I think the key point here is as we move further and further away from gasoline engines, which I'm not real sure how far out that's going to be, obviously, but I think that what we have seen, the exponential growth from, say, 2015 to where we are now, blows my mind, and I don't know how you feel about that, with the technology that's available to just about anybody to convert.
Yeah, no, it has been an incredible growth. I think we have to be careful about sort of mathematically projecting those growth curves forward, because we're going to start bumping against some hard realities like battery production capacity, charging infrastructure deployment, and that's where I think plug-in hybrids need to be a bigger part of the conversation, because
Absolutely
we're
agree.
going to be able to get more of them out there quickly. And plus, if you look at how much decarbonizing a given amount of battery can do,
Right.
a plug-in hybrid really maximizes use of that resource.
Absolutely, it does. And what that does for us is it gives us that cushion of time to really develop those new technologies to get to where the ultimate goal is to be completely free of that. So
Exactly. And there is no silver bullet. There's no one-size-fits-all
That's right.
solution. If you live in an apartment, you can't charge at home, plug-in hybrid's never going to make sense for you.
Right.
But for 80% of the people, it would be a really great solution.
All right,
Right.
so I have a plug question. I have a charge question. All right, so in lieu of a standard yet, and this is all kind of what you were talking about, like there's so much that we have to work out. What did you go with? What are the charging options? I guess both at home, like, in terms of the plugs themselves, you guys probably are building on a standard of some sort. You have a certain style of connector. What is that, and where can I, charge it? Can I charge it at home? What would I need?
Yeah, well, if you had asked me 5 months ago, the answer might be different. So, and right now I have to say I don't know which way we're going to go. Whether
Okay.
we're going to go J1772 or if we're going to go Tesla.
It's kind of an interesting time just on that. Yeah.
It's obviously there are advantages and disadvantages to both, but at this point, because we haven't done our commercial launch yet, we still have flexibility to decide what that's going to be.
Okay.
And we haven't made that call yet.
Okay.
Right. I think that's key, though.
Well, part of what you're not saying that we all know, that some of the folks watching know, some of the folks don't know, is we're kind of waiting for the major players in the charging industry to fight it out and figure out what that standard is.
Yeah.
And part of the problem that builders and manufacturers like Tom have is, what's it going to be, guys? I'm trying to run a business here,
Right.
So
Exactly.
can we please just pick something and move forward so that we can all charge our stuff? Yeah.
That's it.
So
The good news is, because the communication protocol is essentially the same between them, because the Tesla standard is just for the plug.
Yeah.
You can use an adapter to go from one to the other, which is good, but
Yeah.
obviously you'd want to avoid that if you can.
Well, yeah, because you get people that don't use the adapter.
Right.
Right.
I don't know
Exactly.
how else to say that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Try
So-
not to use it. Yeah.
Right. So do we want to get up and take a
Yeah.
walk over? And
Before you guys do,
Yeah.
just because I'm going to make sure while we've got good mics, we can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So if people want to follow you, you got a website you want to give out, social media, anything? Give us your as much contact info as you want to put out there to the internet.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest thing is just to go to blue.motorworks.com, and
Okay.
you can find all our other stuff on there. Check us out. Like I said, we haven't had a commercial launch yet, but we're looking to make that happen in the next 18 months or so.
And I'm guessing if we bookmark that page, when you're ready, it's going to be on that site.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Jay, I see what you're doing there. I'm going to bring your camera into the feed. And if you guys want to walk on over to Tom's build, I'm gonna sit back on the board for a minute, and then I'll join you.
I need a mic.
Oh yeah. What? You need a mic?
I need a mic.
All right.
And it costs you $3,000 or $4,000. That's kind of what the conversion process is like today. We want to be the off-the-rack solution. So small, medium, and large, men's and women's, and everything's covered.
Right. So tell us a little bit about what you've done here.
Yeah, so probably looking at this poster is the easiest way to start. So this is the Narwhal is configured for a pickup truck. So we put the battery pack in the bed of the truck. That's got all the power electronics and everything in it. And then underneath, we install in the middle of the vehicle's drive shaft, we install a coaxial drive unit. And that's got the electric motors, a transmission, and a clutch. And then there's a reaction torque linkage that connects up to the axle tubes to keep the housing from rotating. And then inside that coaxial drive unit, you've got a stack of axial flux electric motors, you've got a planetary transmission, and you've got a multi-mode clutch. And that clutch allows you to operate on the electric motor, in which case it disconnects the gas engine. You can run on the gas engine, in which case it disconnects the electric motor. And you can run in a generator mode, which if you're stationary, lets you connect the engine to the motor, and you can use the whole system as a generator for your job site or a campsite or powering your home in a blackout.
That is amazing, man. And I have to point this out.
Yeah, the engine's still in there, so you still have that capability, that flexibility whenever you need it. And for most people, that's going to be about 20 or 30% of your driving on the engine, and the rest of it's going to be pure electric.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely awesome. All right, well, let's take a look.
Yeah, you can take a peek underneath. This is a proof of concept prototype, so it's a bit bigger and bulkier than what's shown in the CAD, but it proves that this method of power delivery works. And from where we are now, we'll develop that coaxial drive unit and get everything packaged up in a nice compact unit.
Okay, well, I just have to say to anybody out there, if you're ready to make that move, do it, right?
Yeah,
Don't
absolutely.
be afraid. I mean, we saw an F-250 truck in here yesterday that was all converted over, and it just blew my mind. So
Yeah, do a conversion is great if you can afford it right now. If not, just go out and buy yourself a plug-in hybrid. We call them the gateway drugs of EV, because once you start doing most of your driving on electric power, you say, you know what, I think I could do this forever.
that's awesome. Once again, tell everybody how they can get you.
Check out blue.motorworks.com.
All right. Thanks so much for being on with us today. We will drop back by a little later on and catch up with you. So thanks for coming on, and we'll see you a little later.
My pleasure. Thank you.